Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gondorian Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another 3rd Age Reforged online multiplayer battle replay. Now this one is actually very special because it is a 1 vs 1 on the grassy plains. No, I'm just kidding, that is not why it is special. This is special because it was actually done on the 0.95 test patch, so that is going to be very, very cool, very exciting, and I will hopefully be able to get out a lot more 0.95 content very soon. Also because most of the 0.95 testing things like this battle are 1v1s. They actually are pretty short, as you can see by the frames, which means I will hopefully be able to kind of pump them out pretty quickly, and so I can have more videos in a week. But anyway, without any further ado, I guess we'll go ahead and go into the army compositions, starting with my own. So I've got 2 units of the Gondor archers on either flank. These guys are 600 florins, however I did give them 1 armor upgrade, so they were 625 florins. They've got 5 missile damage, 4 attack, and 12 defense. Well, mostly they have... Originally, they will have 11, but because I gave them 1 armor upgrade, they do have 12. And then next to them, I've got 2 units of the Care Andros Marksmen, who have 10 attack, 18 defense, and some nice armor values as well. These guys do have like 6 or 7 missile damage, and 10 attack for a arch unit is very high, but that is because they actually have something very cool about them that they can pull out in melee, which you will see later in the battle, which is why they do have the 10 attack. So on my flanks for my infantry, I do have 1 unit of the Axemen of Lossernach, but do not be deceived by their very excellent looks. They actually only have like 7 attack. Well, 7 attack is good, but 7 attack and 10 defense, but that is because they are a pretty low tier shock infantry unit. That is AP, so the AP is very good, especially against pretty armored units like Mordor. So they should be able to get a lot of, well, a decent amount of kills for a mid to low tier unit. I've also got 2 units of the Gondor infantry on either side, and myself, whenever I'm going to be playing Gondor, because Gondor is of course my favorite faction, I'm going to generally give them 1 armor upgrade and 1 attack upgrade instead of just 2 armor upgrades. Mostly because that will give them a little bit more offensive capabilities, and because I think they look very, very cool with only 1 arm upgrade instead of 2. I really like the plate armor on their arms and legs only, and then they also have the black tunic. I think that looks very nice. Next to that Gondor infantry unit, I've got 1 of the Gondor spearmen, and spearmen for Gondor is definitely one of their main strengths. These guys are 600 florins without any upgrades. However, these guys I did give 1 armor and 1 attack upgrade, so that means they have 4 attack and no 5 attack. Sorry, 4 or 5 attack. I think it's 5 attack with the armor, well, with the attack upgrade, and then they've got 20 defense with the 1 armor upgrade. 163 man unit, very cost-effective unit. A little more pricey than most spearmen units, but that is because Gondor's strength is of course spearmen, so their spearmen are very, very strong. Next to them, I've got 1 unit of one of my favorite units, which is of course the Fountain Guard. These guys are currently capped at 1, I think, although it's changing very soon. Yeah, that is changing very, very soon actually. So they probably will be at 2 for the real thing, but I don't know quite yet, so don't quote me on that. Anyway, they've got 13 attack, 23 defense, and like 11 armor, and the armor will protect them pretty nicely against a lot of skirmish fire. They do not have hit points, but they are AP, so they can do a lot of damage. It is of course a halberd unit. Then next to them, I've got 2 units of a unit that I used to never bring, and that is the Citadel Guard. Both the Citadel Guard and the Fountain Guard, well, Unshielded Fountain Guard, are 1,000 florins each, but both are actually AP. Yes, these standard, well, these elite Citadel Guard actually are AP, even though they are a spearman unit. That is one of the really cool things about Gondor. They actually have a lot of AP, well, they have a lot of AP spears, which is very nice because they do not have a lot of AP shock infantry. Pretty sure the only shock infantry they have that is AP is actually those Axemen of Lossernach that are down there. But anyway, I've got 2 units of them, pretty low in numbers, only 113 in each unit. However, they've got 7 attack and 28 defense, which is very, very nice, especially for a spearman unit. And like I already said, they are AP. And then back here, I've got my other unit of Gondor infantry and 1 unit of Pelargir Marines, who are looking very, very nice with the black armor instead of the brown. I like that a lot. Makes them feel like they fit a lot better with the Gondorian forces. And then over here, I've got my cavalry. I've actually got a lot of cavalry for bringing a Gondor army. I've actually got 5 units of cavalry, but I was kind of trying to do something a little differently, maybe bring a little bit less numbers, a little bit more quality, and a lot more cavalry. So I've got 1 of my 2 units of Pinith Galen cavalry over here, like 6 attack, 22 defense, and a good charge. They are AP off the charge because of Lancers, however they can get wrecked in melee, especially by Mordor cavalry. Mordor cavalry, for the most part, is very good at taking out enemies' cavalry. Over here, I've also got my General's unit, which is that of Gandalf's Retinue Bodyguard, which is a very nice unit, like 6 attack, 34 defense, and 2 hit points. So I believe it's actually the only unit that has hit points in my entire army. However, it is also very expensive, costing about 1,100 florins each. And you can see that Gandalf is sitting here right in the officer position, so that is very cool. We're going to see the White Rider fight, and hopefully we'll see, well, hopefully he will survive, we'll see. And over here we'll go and see quickly, we'll go over here and look quickly at the rest of my cavalry forces. Got my second unit of Peneth Galen cavalry, as well as 2 units of the standard Gondor cavalry with no upgrades whatsoever. These guys without upgrades have 4 attack and 10 defense, but they do have an okay charge. Also they are a AP off the charge because they do have lances. However, they can get skirmished down very quickly because they do not have shields and are kind of lightly armored, and they can get wrecked in melee. However, they are pretty cheap and can do the job of taking out, like, well, running down archers and stuff like that, and just tying up enemy cavalry for long enough to get your other stuff in melee. Over here, my enemy is Lango, commanding the army of Mordor, who is, of course, the age-old enemy of Gondor. He's got 4 units of orc archers who are, I believe, 500 florins each, but they do have 253 men in the unit, so they can have a lot of arrows firing down at the enemies. However, they do not have very much missile damage and pretty low armor and attack values all across the way. But he is going to force me to use my way more expensive archers to fire his own archers, because even low tier archers like this can do a decent amount of damage, especially against my shock infantry and things that don't have shields. Luckily, most of my infantry does have shields, but still, I do need to be careful of that. And his main line of infantry consists of 2 units of orc fodder and 2 units of orc maulers. The orc maulers are AP with like 7 attack, 8 defense, so the AP will definitely do good against my heavily armored infantry. Orc fodder there just to slow down my forces, and because most of my forces actually are spear infantry, it will take them a bit to get through these guys, so I'm going to have to try to punch my way through quickly to not get surrounded by all of these Mordor elites and stuff like that. So for the rest of his army, he's got 3 units of Mordor infantry, one of which is his general's unit back there, which is actually a very smart move. I could not find his general to save my life, which is unfortunate, because if you kill the general, it's very, very key, because this battle you're going to see that morale is definitely a very, very big thing. You have to be very careful with your general, make sure he does not die. He's also got 2 units of the orc javelins on either side, which is a very cool looking unit and a very very nice, because Mordor previously actually was not able to field any javelins whatsoever, and these guys do fill that hole right there, so they should be able to do a good job of taking on my heavily armored units, and if my cavalry gets close enough, they will be able to do a very good job of taking out my cavalry. Back here he's also got 1 unit of dismounted temple inquisitors, 1300 florins, 24-ish attack, 26-ish defense with multiple hit points, and these guys are very, very deadly and very scary. They can take out a lot of troops before going down. He's also got 1 unit of the Minas Morgul bodyguard, which is another elite Mordor unit. Just like most Mordor armies, he's got a lot of kind of low to mid tier units with a decent amount of very deadly elites. He's also only got 1 unit of mounted Numenorean shield guard, but they are very swift and very deadly, so they should do a decent job if they're able to act freely. But because this is its only cavalry unit, I am going to obviously focus it down as much as possible with my own cavalry, because if I do win the cavalry battle, then I'll be able to use my own surviving cavalry to just smash into the back of his lines. But I should mention that Lengo meant to bring some of the mounted Temple Inquisitors instead of the dismounted Temple Inquisitors, and that would have definitely helped him out, because not only would he have 2 units of cavalry instead of only 1, but the mounted Temple Inquisitors are extremely, extremely deadly melee cavalry. But we'll see if it works out in favor or against him anyway, because he did not bring the second unit of cavalry. But again, it's not like these guys are a bad pick anyway, because they are going to be able to just chew through most of my units. But behind them, he's also got 2 units of the Sauron's Will, which is another AP shock infantry unit that Mordor has to offer. Like 10 attack, 11-ish defense. They can also chant to inspire their nearby allies. He's also got some Olag High, which are very, very tough trolls, and they've got 21 men unit, which is very high for a elite troll unit like this. And I'm pretty sure that just about does it for his army, except for over here he's actually got 1 unit of the Temple Guard, which are very expensive archer unit. That is actually one of the only 3 remaining AP archers, and these guys are also very good in melee, so that's going to be another target for me. He does have them hidden in here, just so I don't target them with my archers pretty much immediately right away, or so I don't target them with cavalry. But you can see he does have a ton of stakes, so I'm going to have to be very careful when charging with my cavalry. So without any further ado, I guess we'll go ahead and start off the battle. This one does start relatively slowly, because going into this battle, because I knew that I had relatively low numbers, I was going to try to kind of go on the defense, and you can see that mostly because of my army composition in the fact that I brought so many spears. Fountain Guard in the middle to provide a lot of support to Citadel Guard on that side. Really, my weak point would have been over here, but that's why I had a lot of cavalry there. But because Lango forgot to bring his second unit of cavalry, he is not going to push forward, which again, I don't blame him for. I would definitely not want to try to attack with only one unit of cavalry. Well, attack, because the thing is, when you're attacking, you definitely do have to have cavalry to support your army. So if he only has one unit of cavalry to try and support his army marching forward, I mean, I'd be able to just charge his flanks in front just like insanely. So he's going to kind of sit back a little bit, which is going to play out interestingly, because like I said before, I do have a kind of defensively minded force. But you're going to see me moving forward now. First my infantry, then I'll move forward with my archers, followed by my cavalry to try to get into range. I am going to try to get into range pretty much right away. I'm not too scared of these orc archers. I mean, I am going to have to fire at them eventually. But mainly my targets right away are going to be things like the orc javelins, who could murder my cavalry and heavily armored units, and also maybe the dismounted Temple Inquisitors. However, the Temple Inquisitors do have hit points, so most of my archers aren't going to do very much damage to them. Shield Guard might also be a target. Also, of course, the Saurons will, because they don't have hit points. Not too worried about the Maulers, because they've only got like 7 attack, 8 defense, and they're only being backed by fodder, so my infantry should be able to deal with them relatively easily. Well, but like I said, because of my spear-heavy army, it is going to take me a while even to kind of bust through these units right here. See, I'm moving my cavalry around the wing there. Temple Guard are going to go over there to prevent that pretty quickly here, or to prevent my forces from charging through these sides. Let's move these scouts around, or they were called scouts, now they're called orc archers, I think. Yes, orc archers. Yeah, like I said, it does start kind of slowly, but it will pick up pretty quickly here. I am going to go on the offensive here. Fountain Guard, of course, a very nice unit. Only 93 men in the unit. But they are very deadly, very, very deadly indeed. However, you have to be careful to make sure you get them in formation, because when they're out of formation, they will drop pretty quickly. But in formation, they can get a ton of kills and hold for just an insanely long amount of time. And boy, I just love the Fountain Guard. They look so nice. Oh man, I love Gondor. Okay, you can see that I am marching forward with most of my infantry now. I'm going to kind of rush forward right away, not going to allow my enemy time to just shoot me. Especially, I want to run these Fountain Guard quickly, because even though they do have 11 armor, they don't have hit points, which means they will get shot down pretty quickly. Carrander's Marksmen going to be very good, and like I said, they do have 10 attack, 18 defense, which 10 attack is pretty dang good for, well, very dang good for archers and pretty much any kind of unit, because my infantry only has like 6 attack, I think, and that's with an upgrade, attack upgrade. You can see the archers, a little bit of difficulty retreating back, but for the most part, most of his archers have gone back. Kind of just getting in a semicircle formation, trying to protect his flanks from my large amounts of cavalry. You can see I was going to try to go after some of his orc archers with my Gondor cavalry, but I was not able to do so. So I'm just going to continue going around the flanks with them. And you will see some arrows start to fly very quickly here. Got some of my infantry standing here. I meant to push them forward right away, but they're unfortunately just going to stand here for a while and get shot a little bit. Yes, my Gondor archers are about to fire, as well as the Carrander's Marksmen. Let's see where they're firing at. Yes, they are firing away. So there's going to be a ton of arrows. I was targeting a little bit of his front line, but mostly I was trying to shoot these orc archers down, just because I don't want these, like, what, almost 1,000-ish orc archers just firing at me like the entire time. You can see I am moving forward now, trying to attack him on the entire front line here to give my cavalry time to attack, which you can see is moving around the flanks. Penith Galen cavalry going to try to charge these orc archers, and the Gandalf's bodyguard is going to just keep moving. Gondor Spearmen and Citadel Guard going to be first into the fray, charging straight into this front line here. And that is going to begin the infantry fight right there. Gondor Spearmen will be able to hold there for a long time and get a decent amount of kills as well. Citadel Guard, their AP isn't going to do a ton here because the Orc Fodder and Maulers aren't super heavily armored, but as soon as you commit some other stuff, it is going to be very effective. But yeah, I've got both units of Citadel Guard here. Here's one of my units of Gondor Infantry. I'm going to try to cut their way through these Mornon Infantry, and I did get a decent charge off on those Orc Archers there. Did take a few losses to my Penith Galen Cavalry. Oh, and right here, my Gondor Cavalry doing very nicely right there, charging straight into that unit of Sauron's Will, taking out a ton looks like about 125 of these Sauron's Will, proving that just even low tier cavalry like this can do very good off the charge. I mean, I did take a lot of losses here, but it was definitely worth it. And you can see now the Sauron's Will are going to take a rear charge from these Gandalf's bodyguard. However, the Orc Javelins are here. This was a definite micro mistake on me. I did not mean to have them stop there, and they're going to take a direct volley from the Orc Javelins multiple times, it looks like. So I am going to lose quite a few guys from that. Looks like he also might be targeting me elsewhere. So already, my infantry, I'm going to slow down just a little bit because there's a few things going on. Oh, I didn't mean to pause it, I slow down. So, you can see I'm trying to charge my Galen cavalry again into the Orc archers. Gandalf's bodyguard going to go after the Sauron's Will again. He is already having to commit his Morgul bodyguard and dismounted Temple Inquisitors against my Citadel Guard, who are very quickly cutting him down. Gondor Spearmen still holding on strong. Infantry fighting against the Mornon Guard. And then over here, I've actually got some flanking Axemen of Lossarnach trying to do their best against these Mornon Infantry and Orc Archers. However, not going to be able to do very good. Well, they should do okay. I know this is not a very smart idea at all to charge trolls, especially because they have a bonus against cavalry, but I just needed to try to tie up these trolls for a decent amount of time. But you can see that's not even going to happen for me. My poor cavalry is just getting butchered there. Over here, the Shield Guard is cutting down one of my units of Gondor cavalry. And across over here, unfortunately, I was not, like I said before, while the Found Guard can do very good when they're in formation, you can see because they're not really in formation and helping each other out, I've already taken a lot of losses, well, my Found Guard have anyway. But once I do get them in there, they should be able to do very well against these Orc fodder and even the Minas Morgul bodyguard. My archers are also firing the whole time. I'm trying to move my Pelargir Marines around the flanks to get some shots in. You can see my Gondor infantry doing very well against the Mornon infantry. Galen cavalry coming around. Sauron's Will not having a fun time of it at all, just getting charged over and over. Gondor cavalry coming in again, this time going to go after the Orc Javelins, who you can see did kill about 8 or so of my Gandalf's bodyguard. And look at this nice charge right here, right into the Orc Javelins just before they were able to get a volley off. However, there are some Sauron's Will here who I do believe have a bonus against cavalry, so if I'm not careful, I'm going to get rear charged by those 25 remaining Sauron's Will. Actually, there was a half-decent javelin volley right there at the end, going into my Gondor cavalry. And yeah, my poor other unit of Galen cavalry got just shredded by the Olag High. I've still got, yeah, my Gondor cavalry is down. That was the unit I believe that got cut down by the Shield Guard, mounted Shield Guard. And so I'm still trying to get my Found Guard into formation, but looks like they're about to get into formation, so they should be able to do well once they get there. Citadel Guards, you can see, are doing very, very well against the Maulers and fodder. The Dismounted Temple Inquisitors here are going to get a lot of kills against my Citadel Guard, but the Citadel Guard will not do bad in return, especially because they are AP. Gondor Infantry not doing bad over here on the flanks. You can see I've been just constantly cycle charging over here as well into the archers. Actually, that time it was a nice charge right into these Temple Guard, who are now down to 17 after suffering a very bad charge there. Gondor Cavalry actually routing. Again, proving that morale is a very big thing in this battle. I'm trying to move my Pelargir Marines around. Over here, you can see Lengo is doing a very nice move here. He's also using fires, by the way, to even more weaken the morale of my troops. Yeah, these Axemen of Loss are not getting rear charged by the Olag High. Not going to be very good for their morale or health whatsoever at all, because they are still kind of just barely holding on here against these Mornon infantry. Over here, though, my Gondor infantry is doing good on this side against the other unit of Mornon infantry, so if I am able to break through here, I should be able to help out my Axemen over there. Spearmen still holding on strong, getting a little thin-ish, but they're doing okay in their job. Founding Guard are finally into formation after taking about 30-ish losses, but you can see they are going to get a lot of kills now. Actually, they actually have already butchered a lot of the Orc fodder and stuff here. Going to have to fight against those Minas Morgul bodyguard. And over here you can see my Citadel Guard starting to struggle quite grievously against the dismounted Temple Inquisitors paired with the Orc fodder and stuff like that. I mean, in some areas I'm doing okay, but right here the dismounted Temple Inquisitors are doing very nicely. Getting my Pelargir Marines around the flank there. I'm still just cycle charging the whole time, by the way. Oh, I was actually trying to get my Gondor Cavalry to rear charge these Sauron's Will, but they're going to, or Galen Cavalry, but they're going to get caught now by these Númenor and Shield Guard, who have taken about 20 losses, because I have been trying to focus them down with my own cavalry. I'm going to rear charge these Shield Guard, or try to anyway, rear charge these Shield Guard here, but they are going to turn around in time. Actually, looks like they're going to try to go after my Galen cavalry, who are taking a lot of skirmish fire after charging into these orc archers. My Gondor cavalry coming back after routing, but they have taken a lot of losses. I'm kind of just marching my Pelagir Marines in here now just to try to silence these orc javelins and orc archers. Pelagir Marines are not bad in melee, so they should do okay there. And my infantry is starting to kind of break through on this flank. Over here, the Citadel Guard doing quite well, but I mean, dismounted Temple Inquisitors are really proving a nuisance and are being very difficult to take out. Fountain Guard still fighting against this front line here. And you can see that I am winning the percentage quite heavily. 50% if the enemy is taken out. This one was not the super closest one, but it still was a pretty nice battle. And like I said, I am hoping to get more of these .95 battles out soon. Over here, you can see that Shield Guard fighting hard against my Gandalf's bodyguard. And even though my bodyguard are really pretty elite, they are outnumbered, so they are going to suffer pretty heavily here. So I am going to pull them out because I do not want to lose my general right away, because if I lost my general, that would not be good. I would have a lot of low morale. However, because I'm occupying his one cavalry unit, you can see my 3 remaining cavalry units are having free reign to just charge into archers and javelins like nads. Just getting a lot of nice kills here, just routing a lot of units as well. See, this flank right here of the Citadel Guard is starting to crumble because of the dismounted Temple Inquisitors. Over here, the Minas Morgul bodyguard kind of fighting against my Fountain Guard, but the Fountain Guard will be able to handle that pretty easily. Spearmen, you can see though, who have been fighting the whole time, are starting to struggle. I mean, they've still got 120 men in unit, and they're going to be able to hold here for a long time because that is, of course, what they are good at. Over here, my infantry has taken out most of these Mordor infantry. They are shaken though, so again, proving how big morale is. However, they probably won't break because they have got a lot of units here. My Axemen of Lothernok, they poor Axemen, getting cut down because of the trolls and the Mordor infantry. However, I will be able to give them some support here. I am going to charge these infantry into the flanks of this Mordor infantry over there. Oof. Yeah, my cavalry is taking some pretty grievous losses from skirmish fire, but still, we're getting a lot of kills. My cavalry was definitely very key this whole battle. You can see the Pentheon cavalry. I'm actually about to get caught by some Minas Morgul bodyguard. Pelagir Marines going around now to flank these units right here. The last of this Mordor infantry. They are going to in turn get cut down by some Temple Guard, but we'll probably break those units there. And my Gandalf's bodyguard is right there. It's gonna try to, yeah, I'm gonna try to recharge the Shield Guard. Oh, I just realized Gandalf is dead already. No, Gandalf, I love you, man, but he's dead. Oof, unfortunate. Pentheon cavalry did get a decent charge on these Sauron's Will, but getting cut down now. And Axemen of Lothernok wavering, but still kind of holding on. Infantry, just fresh from winning a fight, are going to have to be thrown into the fray again. Going to try to flank around these Moron infantry. Olaghai is still at, well, only have taken 1 loss so far. They're a very strong unit. Spearmen, very even fight right here against the Fodder and Maulers. But Spearmen might be starting to win a little bit. Found Guard now are pushing against these Orc Fodders. I'm just trying to push through to silence some of these archers. Over here, again, my Citadel Guard are strong here. But over here, they're just getting outflanked by these 53 remaining dismounted Temple Inquisitors. I did get a nice charge off into these Orc Archers, however, I in turn got recharged by some Mounted Numer and Shield Guard. Pelagir Marines are sitting here. I'm going to try to charge, oh, my Gandalf's bodyguard is here as well. I am going to throw my javelins and hopefully take out the last of those Numer and Shield Guard. Let's see. There's actually some Temple Guard there as well, now down to 8 men in the unit. But I should be very careful here. You can see I'm also committing some infantry here. But I need to be very careful because if I'm not careful, I will lose my general here, and that's going to be just horrible for my men's morale. You can already tell that I have yes, look, I actually have some 74 Gondor infantry routing, and this is what I wanted to show you. The reason why these Carandros marksmen are so good and expensive is because they actually have 10 attack in melee because they do pull out these awesome two-handed swords, which is not a very common trait among human factions. Mostly, the only archers that pull out two-handed swords once they are out of ammo is the of course, the Elven archers, mostly those being the Lorien and Mirkwood archers. But yeah, there goes my general, and that's not good at all. I mean, I was able to take out most of those Mounted Numenor and Shield Guard, but I'm now pretty much out of cavalry myself. I've got 11 bodyguard. They still will be able to get some good charges off, but most of my cavalry elsewhere is gone. You can see my infantry routing, my axemen are routing, this Mordor infantry is free to fight, and these Olaghai are now going to engage my poor Gondor spearmen, who are actually wavering, shaken now. Not at all happy about the loss of their general here, so I am going to commit my unit of Cairns marksmen here out of ammo, and they should do okay against the trolls, and they will do very well against the leftover remaining infantry here, but you can see that the orcs are coming over here as well. I was also targeting these arms with my archers, which is why they're very low in number. I'm actually committing both my units of Cairns marksmen here. Unfortunately, they're kind of marching like a weird column formation, so I'm kind of going to blob up here. And my spearmen are again wavering. Oh, my archers can't get past these two trolls, or 2 or 3 trolls, to support their spearmen, but I've also got my Found Guard here on the flanks trying to help out trying to help kill these trolls and take out the orc archers. You can see that I have kind of broken through this middle area here, but right here, my Citadel Guard, again, they have been fighting the whole time, and they've got a lot of kills. I mean, you can see a lot of dead orcs here, but the Dismounted Temple Inquisitor is very, very strong in melee, which is, of course, understandable because they are a melee unit. Pilgrim Marines running around after routing units. I just want to try to silence the orc archers and javelins. Infantry here fighting against the Minas Morgul bodyguard. I am going to try to rear charge the bodyguard kind of soon here, but again, this is just the loss of my general here is kind of turning things back in favor of Lango. I can say I'm having to commit a lot of my archers, and you can actually see that my 72 Gondor spearmen just routed because of the loss of my general. So I'm going to have to rely on my Cairns marksmen here to slow down these trolls, and more on infantry. Also got some Found Guard there. And my Citadel Guard are still trying to fight hard against these Dismounted Temple Inquisitors. Over here, my Gondor infantry shaken. These Minas Morgul bodyguard, I believe, inspire fear in their enemies. So if I'm not careful, I'm going to lose this unit of Gondor infantry here as well, which is not going to be good. Some remaining Temple Guard there as well. And I'm just running around with my cavalry, just trying to get after these units. I don't have a lot of cavalry left. There's 2 Numenor and Shield Guards left. Orc javelins trying to throw their stuff. And over here, yeah, you can see I've had to commit my Gondor archers here as well, trying to get my lines into more of a respectable position. Oh, and the flanking fire arrows of these orc archers is starting to cause my Gondor infantry. I saw them wavering. Yeah, they're wavering. Oh, the fear-inspiring arrows and the fear-inspiring Minas Morgul bodyguard. This is going to be very, very interesting. Oh, and a rear charge by those 2. Yes, they broke. They broke. See, oh boy. Like a lot of people have said, a lot of the one of the main things people didn't like about this game is the lack of breaking. But you can see right there, 100 of my Gondor infantry just broke because of the Minas Morgul bodyguard and the flanking fire arrows. Tried to charge these bodyguard with the with my own Gandalf's bodyguard, and it did decently, but the counter charge prevented me from getting a ton of kills. Pelgrim Marines now I'm trying to use to slow down these Minas Morgul bodyguard here. The good thing though, but see, the thing is, my infantry is running straight through all these enemies here, which means they're going to take a lot of losses. I mean, they may come back from routing eventually. Gondor Spearmen routed, Axeman Washnock. Gondor Infantry finally coming back after fighting. Gondor Archers actually thinking about routing. Cairns Marksmen still holding on strong. Found Guard still fighting. But anyway, yeah, because they ran through that, they took a lot more losses than they maybe would have otherwise. And you can still see that there's still 46 Dismounted Temple Inquisitors. So I'm going to try to flank them with these Gondor Archers, who are also going to begin the fight against these Orc Fodder and the Maulers. Citadel Guard down to 83, and where's the other unit? 59. One is actually shaken. Again, see, it's very, very neat because morale is actually a very, very big factor now. So my Citadel Guard's still trying to hold on against these Dismounted Temple Inquisitors. Over here, Fountain Guard marching forward against the Archers, and look, another unit of over 100. Well, it was over 100. Gondor Archers just routed again. It's all down to the fact that my general died right there. So you have to be very, very careful with your general now. That was a good charge by my Gandalf's bodyguard into the Minas Morgul bodyguard. There's only 1 shield guard left. Pelgrim Marines routing. I mean, there's just routing all over the place. If I'm not careful, I may get my entire army routed off the field. I mean, Lango doesn't have a ton left, but still, if he's able to keep using those fire arrows and fear-inspiring troops, he may be able to rout my pretty much entire army and win this victory. but we'll have to see. You can also see my Gondor infantry shaken. I'm trying to use them to recharge these units here, but because they're shaken, they may actually end up routing. We'll just have to see. But yeah, really what I'm trying to do right now is just silence these freaking orc archers with their fire arrows. There's also orc javelins going to try to prevent my Fountain Guard from doing this. Taking out a few of them right there with a good volley. Gondor archers here still doing okay because they're fighting against pretty low tier stuff. Citadel Guard kind of just standing around now, actually shaken. Yeah, some of them are just kind of standing there. Most of them are fighting. Yeah, there's still 42 dismounted Temple Inquisitors. 32 of the bodyguard. Again, like most Mordor armies, it's going to come down to the Mordor elites, because that's pretty much how all Mordor armies are. They have a large amount of pretty fodder and mid-tier units, and then a good amount of very elite units. You can see I'm going to try to rear charge these Minas Morgul bodyguard, who are flanking my Citadel Guard, which is not going to be good for them. However, because of my cavalry here, I should be able to take out most of this unit. You can see a lot of my routing units coming back. However, they're wavering, not liking at all the idea of having to go back into battle, especially those spearmen. But yeah, the rear charge right there for my bodyguard into these Minas Morgul bodyguard is going to be very, very devastating. Yeah, you can see a ton of them going down right there, and they're actually shaken. But anyway, again, the general of Mordor has not been found. I'm trying to take him out so I can do to him what he's done to me. Gondor infantry who are actually flanking are thinking about routing. I'm gonna commit my archers here and try to move around with my spearmen to silence those orc archers or javelins. See, Found Guard have taken a lot of missile fire, but they've got a lot of kills. They've done a lot of work. I mean, you can see they just shredded this whole line right here. And the trolls, man, these Olaghai are just doing so well. There's still, what was that? I couldn't see. Oh, my Carandros marksman shaken. Trolls also inspire the troops around them. So it's going to be very, very close. Oh, my spearmen wavering. If they get shot by one fire arrow, they're going to rout. Peregrine Marines finally coming back from routing and going to attack these orc archers who are going to rout in the face of it. Over here, Minas Morgul bodyguard down to 19. Citadel Guard still struggling, but doing okay. All of the elites here are proving pretty hard, but they are being given the support right here of these Gondor archers who are cutting down the last of this orc fodder and orc maulers. 39 Temple Inquisitors left over. But yeah, I really like the Citadel Guard. Citadel Guard are definitely worth it in my opinion to bring in pretty much every Gondor army. Some more returning troops, but again, they're still thinking about routing. Only 21 Fountain Guard remaining. Yeah, see, I'm trying to silence these dang archers who are shooting the rear of my units, but in the face of the point-blank fire volley from these low-tier archers, my spearmen are going to once again rout right away, which is unfortunate because if I was able to get these guys around here, I would have completely surrounded the last of these Mordor units. Found Guard now down to 18. Infantry going to march around here and try to outflank some units. There's only 14 Morgul bodyguard, 1 shield guard, and I've got 10 of my own bodyguard left. There we go. Finally, the Mordor general going down to some Gondor archers, which is going to free up a lot of my units probably because while these Citadel Guard are going to have to fight hard, I will be able to use most of my other units around here to go after these orc archers and the remaining Mordor infantry right here, who because of through the loss of their general are going to be very, very weakened morale-wise. See, if only got 9 Fountain Guard left. The skirmish fire is really not proving very good for them. But the orc javelins have been caught in melee. They're a spear unit, you can see. They are out of javelins or just caught in melee. Still some orc archers left. I'm using my cavalry just to run around flanking some units. Like I was rear charging some Temple Inquisitors and those bodyguard there. But these Gondor archers should be able to prove enough to swing this battle back in my favor. The last of those bodyguard and Temple Inquisitors going to go down there. And my cavalry is just running around trying to take out these archers. And you can see that a lot of the orc archers are wavering. And over here, Olaghai, man, still holding strong. However, most of the other infantry units are starting to waver. Spearmen, again, they've come back again, but they're shaken still, so probably another arrow of fire ammo would probably take them out. You can see Lengo just trying to fire some arrows into the back of my Gondor archers, going to do a good deal of damage there. But yeah, the Gondor archers, not bad at all in melee. 4 attack, 11 defense, so not at all bad. You can see a lot of more Mordor units routing. There's only some more infantry left, and I think I'll go ahead and put this back up to a normal speed now. And the last of the trolls finally starting to go down. There's only 2 left. Gondor infantry going to come flank around. And over here, my Citadel Guard with the Gondor archers are... I mean, man, there's still 28 dismounted Temple Inquisitors, but looks like most of the bodyguard have been taken out. And just in the rest of the area, I've only got, yeah, we've got the 10 Gandalf's bodyguard, and I've got like 4 Pinnith Galen. That's all I've got left of my cavalry. But as I have pretty much taken out the last of these units over here, I am going to be able to go over there and take out the last of the Temple Inquisitors, as the last units over here have also fallen. So again, a very cool battle. The outcome is pretty much certain though at this point. However, like I said before, it was a very nice battle. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed playing it, and there's actually still one Temple Guard left. He's gonna lose his arrow. Ooh, did he get a kill? I couldn't tell. I think he shot that one Gondor archer in the back, but I don't think he actually got a kill. But yeah, Citadel Guard have taken a lot of losses, but they definitely paid for themselves. 60 left in that unit. What's the other unit? 41. 18 Temple Inquisitors. Now that they're getting just surrounded, they are going to drop. More of my units coming around. And I think I still have 9 Fountain Guard around here somewhere. So yeah, they're in there. Yeah, I still have 9 Fountain Guard, which I was happy about because Fountain Guard, I always like if they stay alive for the whole battle. Candra's Marksmen got a lot of kills with their bows, also not doing bad with their swords. Gandalf's bodyguard, yeah, I'm just pretty much, this is going to pretty much be the end of the battle, so I'll just go ahead and speed it up now. The final stand of these dismounted Temple Inquisitors. Actually, I think there's still the one bodyguard. Oh, yeah, the one Temple Guard. He shot one of my bodyguards, so I decided to run him down with Gandalf's unit. Yeah, it's a very cool battle. I deployed 1,800 men, got 2,800 kills. Lengo, 3,500 men with 1,100 kills. Yeah, very nice battle. Big thank you to Lengo for playing it with me. Take a look at the exact kills. Bodyguard, all my cavalry doing very well except for this one unit that got wrecked by the shield guard, I think. Surprisingly, I thought for sure my bodyguard would have the most kills for my cavalry, but it was actually one of the units of Gondor cavalry. Canada's marksman doing very well. All my archers did well, but again, you have to remember that for the most part, they were shooting the orc archers, who, you know, are just pretty crap and can die to arrows very quickly. Pelargir Marines not doing bad. Citadel Guard doing very well. Found Guard also getting some very nice kills, 231. Gondor Infantry not doing bad. Gondor Spearmen not doing bad. And Axemen of Loss are not doing too bad either. But again, you have to remember, most of his infantry was pretty low tier. So that is why so many of my units had so many kills, is because most of his units were was pretty crap, except for the elites, which is of course, you know, how Mordor's playstyle is. Don't think that Mordor wouldn't be able to beat Gondor. They definitely would be able to do so. But anyway, so yeah, very cool battle. So if you guys did enjoy it, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you did not, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next video. So farewell wherever you fare, till your eyes receive you at your journey's end.